Welcome to Unstoppable Mind today, where we explore the resilience of the human spirit and the power of unwavering determination. Meet Rohan, a young man of 20 years, living in a quiet rural village, dreaming of a life far beyond poverty. The reality of his world is harsh, surrounded by dust and endless labor, where dreams often wither under the scorching sun. He possesses a burning ambition to succeed, to break the chains of his circumstances and build a legacy of greatness. But the weight of financial struggle presses down on him daily, making every step toward his goals feel like walking through mud. The neighbors whisper cruel jokes as he passes, their laughter piercing his confidence and planting seeds of doubt in his mind. He feels their judgment like a physical blow, a constant reminder that they believe he is destined to remain a nobody. The pain intensifies when he sees childhood friends returning home, showcasing their success and highlighting how far behind he has fallen. Comparison is a thief of joy, and Rohan feels robbed of his hope as he measures his stagnation against their progress. He retreats to the riverbank, feeling trapped in a cycle of failure, wondering if the universe has conspired against his dreams. Self-doubt begins to consume him, whispering that perhaps the neighbors are right, and he is simply not meant for greatness. Despair wraps around his heart like a cold chain, leaving him paralyzed and unable to see any path forward for himself. But in his darkest moment, his mother enters, sensing the storm within her son and offering a gentle touch of comfort. She looks into his eyes and tells him that failure is not the end, but merely a preparation for something greater. She explains that like an arrow, life must sometimes drag you back with difficulties to launch you into a spectacular future. Rohan listens intently, allowing her words to penetrate his shield of sorrow, finding a small spark of hope in the darkness. The next morning, his father calls him to the fields, wanting to share his own wisdom drawn from years of farming. He points to a tiny sprout and compares life to farming, explaining that growth happens silently underground before it becomes visible. If a farmer stops watering because he sees no fruit immediately, the seed dies, and the harvest is lost forever. He urges Rohan to be patient with himself, for the greatest trees take the longest to grow and reach the sky. Rohan understands the metaphor, realizing that his lack of visible progress does not mean that he is not growing internally. To solidify these lessons, his parents decide to take him to see Guru Baba, a wise master living in the mountains. They embark on a pilgrimage up the winding paths, leaving the noise of the village behind to find clarity and peace. Upon arriving at the ashram, they are greeted by the silence of nature, a sanctuary where the mind can finally rest. Guru Baba appears with a gentle smile, sensing the turmoil in the young man's heart without a single word being spoken. Instead of offering a lecture, the wise guru invites Rohan to stay and learn through action rather than just listening. The first task is simple yet deceptive. Rohan must carry water from the river to the garden without spilling a drop. Eager to impress, Rohan rushes the task, filling the buckets quickly and trying to sprint back up the hill. But his haste causes the water to splash violently, and by the time he reaches the top, the buckets are half empty. The guru stops him and explains that speed without stability is useless. He must find the balance between moving forward and being careful. Rohan tries again, stepping deliberately, learning that maintaining what you have is just as important as acquiring more along the way. He delivers the full buckets, realizing that focus and balance are the keys to carrying his burdens without losing his purpose. For the second lesson, the guru leads him to a barren patch of land and instructs him to plant a garden. Rohan works hard, tilling the soil and burying the seeds, expecting to see immediate results for his intense physical labor. Days pass, and Rohan checks the ground every morning, but the soil remains silent and bare, testing his patience once again. Frustration builds as he feels foolish for tending to nothing, tempted to abandon the project and admit defeat. The guru intervenes, reminding him that if he stops caring for the dream now, it will surely die before it breathes. Reluctantly, Rohan continues to water the invisible seeds, learning the hardest lesson of all: trusting the process when you are blind. Then, one morning, green shoots break the surface, proving that consistency is the magic that turns invisible effort into visible results. Rohan beams with pride, understanding that dreams operate on their own timeline, not on the schedule of his impatience. For the final lesson, the guru points to a heavy stone and instructs Rohan to carry it to the hilltop. The stone is incredibly heavy, representing the burdens of life and the massive weight of the ambitions Rohan carries. Every step is a battle against gravity and pain, his body screaming for him to drop the load and quit. He pauses to breathe, his legs shaking, realizing that the path to the top is lonely, painful, and demands everything he has. Summoning his inner strength, he pushes through the pain barrier, driven by a new understanding that suffering is part of growth. Finally, he reaches the peak and drops the stone, a wave of relief and accomplishment washing over his exhausted body. Standing at the top, the view is magnificent, and he realizes the struggle was the price of admission for this perspective. The guru tells him that the feeling of conquering the hill is worth every second of the pain he endured. He teaches Rohan that true success is not just reaching the top, but the strength and character built during the climb. Rohan closes his eyes and internalizes the truth. His poverty does not define him. His resilience and mindset define his future. With a heart full of gratitude and a mind sharpened by wisdom, Rohan prepares to return to his village, a changed man. He returns to the same dusty streets, but he no longer walks with his head down, for he carries a vision. The mockery of the neighbors continues, but it bounces off him like water off a stone. Their noise is no longer his reality. He channels his energy into work and self-improvement, applying the discipline of the water, the patience of the tree, and the strength of the stone. He stops complaining about his lack of resources and starts utilizing the resourcefulness of his unstoppable mind to create opportunities. He realizes that success is not a destination you run to, but a person you become through discipline, patience, and grit. The boy who once cried over his fate has become a man who shapes his destiny with his own two hands. Embrace the climb, carry your burdens with grace, and water your dreams with patience, for your victory is inevitable. Silence. The doubters not with your words, but with your results, and let your life be the loudest message of all. Remember that the right mindset is more valuable than gold, and discipline is the bridge between your goals and accomplishment. Like the seed, you have infinite potential locked inside you, waiting for the right conditions of belief and hard work to explode. Do not fear the difficult path, for it is the only road that leads to a destination worth staying at. The universe makes way for the stubborn soul who refuses to quit, aligning the stars for those who keep moving forward. So take up your buckets, plant your seeds, and lift your stones today, for your future self is waiting for you. Walk towards your light with confidence, knowing that you have the power to rewrite your story at any given moment. Thank you for watching. If this story inspired you, please subscribe to Unstoppable Mind today for more powerful life lessons.